They say some houses remember every scream, every shadow, every drop of blood. Tonight's story isn't fiction. It's inspired by a real incident that happened on Halloween night, 1998, in a small Ohio town. A group of friends broke into an abandoned farmhouse for a thrill, but what they found inside was something that had been waiting for decades. Stay till the end, because the house still stands. And it's said that if you drive past it after midnight on Halloween, you can still see one of the lights flicker on, even though there's no electricity. It started like any other Halloween dare. 5 friends, too much confidence, and not enough fear. Ethan, Claire, Jordan, Mia, and Derek, all high school seniors, were bored of haunted houses and cheap jump scares. So when Derek mentioned the Harper Place, the others laughed until he said the words, "They never found the family's bodies." That got their attention. Harper Place was a boarded-up farmhouse on the edge of town, empty for over 30 years. The story went that in 1968, the Harper family vanished overnight. The father was a local mortician, and neighbors often complained about strange smells from his basement. The police called it a domestic disappearance. Locals called it a curse. Still, it was Halloween. The one night you could do stupid things and call it brave. You know that one friend who always says, "What's the worst that could happen?" Yeah, they never live long in stories like this. The group arrived just before midnight. The moon was high, the air thick with fog, and the old farmhouse sat like a corpse beneath the trees. Every window was boarded up, except one on the top floor where a faint light flickered. "Probably some junkies," Ethan said. "Let's check it out." The wooden door creaked open easily. Too easily, like it was expecting them. Inside smelled of mold, rot, and something else. Something sweet. The kind of sweetness that only comes from decay. Claire, filming everything for her vlog, whispered, "Do you guys hear that?" A faint ticking sound echoed from the walls. Steady like a heartbeat, they split up. Classic mistake. Ethan and Mia headed for the basement. Jordan and Claire checked the kitchen, and Derek stayed upstairs. The basement door moaned open. The smell was unbearable. Rows of old glass jars lined the shelves, filled with things. Human teeth, dried flowers, little bones. Mia's flashlight landed on a large metal table, and beside it, a lockbox with rusted hinges. The label read, "For the ones who will wake." Ethan, grinning, said, "Let's open it." The moment he touched the box, the ticking on the wall stopped. Then, every light in the house flickered on, even though there was no power. Upstairs, Jordan screamed, then silence. Claire's camera fell, showing just a blur of red light before the feed cut out. When Ethan and Mia ran upstairs, the kitchen was empty, except for the faint smell of burnt wood and a single word written in ash across the wall. "Stay." Meanwhile, Derek had found something strange in the attic. A row of children's drawings nailed to the wall. Each one showed a tall figure with hollow eyes standing beside the house. In the final drawing, the figure was inside the house, standing behind the children. He turned and saw the same shape reflected in the dusty window behind him. Before he could scream, the glass cracked from the inside. Ethan and Mia burst into the attic. Derek was gone. Only his flashlight remained, pointing at a phrase scratched into the floorboards: "We never left." At this point, any sane person would have bolted. But these are teenagers on Halloween. Logic isn't their strong suit. Mia held up the rusted lockbox, whispering, "This must be what they meant." Ethan grabbed a crowbar and forced it open. Inside was a small brass key tied to a tag that read, "Do not turn." Of course, he turned it. The floorboards groaned. The ticking came back, faster, louder, turning into pounding. The entire house seemed to breathe, walls expanding and contracting like lungs. From the darkness below, faint voices echoed, whispers repeating one word: home. Then, the door to the basement slammed open on its own. They ran, but the front door wouldn't budge. The air grew thick, the lights dimmed, and shadows crawled across the ceiling, stretching like human figures. Mia screamed as one shadow grabbed her wrist. Its fingers were cold, solid, and real. Ethan swung his flashlight, but it went straight through. The shadow pulled Mia backward into the wall. She was gone. In blind panic, Ethan turned toward the stairs. A figure stood there, tall, thin, face blurred like static. It spoke in a voice that sounded like many voices together. "You opened the door. Now stay." When police arrived the next morning, they found the farmhouse empty. The front door was unlocked. Inside, only Claire's camera was recovered. The footage showed them entering, laughing, exploring. And then, around 2:13 a.m., all 5 of them standing in a circle, facing something unseen. Then the camera shook violently and went black. No one has seen them since. Today, Harper Place is fenced off. Locals say the new owners left after just one night. And every Halloween, a faint light still flickers in the attic window, like a heartbeat waiting to start again. Some think it's the wind or faulty wiring, but those who know the story never go close enough to find out, because sometimes the house doesn't haunt you. Sometimes you haunt the house.